So if you want to preserve the historical look of your house and you want to put vinyl siding on it, a lot of people hate it because it looks hideous and there's all this plastic J-channel all over the place. But there are some ways you can have the best of both worlds, and a complicated and kind of difficult to do, but very rewarding job is to make your window casement, if you're going to be wrapping with aluminum anyways, with a built-in J-channel in it. Therefore eliminating the need for any kind of J-channel around the edge of the window and giving you a nice clean look like this. There was one video I saw on YouTube of how to do this, but the guy just seemed to be more or less advertising a fancy break, and he whipped the whole thing together in 30 seconds. So I'm going to give you a more elaborate rundown of exactly what steps you need to take in order to get something like this. So the first thing you need to do is get the width of what I'm going to be calling the face here, and the width of your return, which is how far back into the window you need to go. I don't know if those are the correct technical terms. I'm not into construction videos or claim to be an expert in any way. I just found a way to do this, and I want to make it a little bit more elaborate for anybody else who struggled so much in the beginning. So over here on this side, if you're wrapping any standard window, it's 3/4 of an inch thick. You're not going to need that number. You're not going to need the number for the return hem or the back side, because I'm going to give you how much extra to attach later. And your nailing strip can pretty much be any width, so that won't matter. You'll only need 2 numbers to start, and that's the width of the face. And in my case, I'm gapping a little notch here. So the width on this is going to be 4 5/8, and the return is going to be 1 5/8. So let's go bend it on the brake. Alright, so I went ahead and started with a 12-inch wide piece here, which is like we added all the way through step 3. And now we're going to put it in the brake, and I've marked step 4 on here, and that's going to be our first actual bend. When you're lined up, go ahead and clamp her down. Right on the line over there. Okay. This one is just 90 degrees, and it's going to be the hem, so we're going to be bending it more in a minute. Okay. Take this piece out, turn it like the next step says. We're going to go all the way in so it's touching. Go ahead. This is a 3/4 inch break. I think some of them will go down to 5 inches, so this is kind of a benefit for me. If you do have a 5-inch break, maybe you do have to take a couple more numbers and start marking your 3/4 of an inch for your J channel here, unless you want 5/8 of an inch J channel. So the next one, the face of the window is going to come up into the air. It's going to be facing you first, and it faces up. This one's just a 90-degree bend. Now we're going to go ahead and flip it back, and this time the face is down and it's going to end up facing you. And I've got an older break here, and I can't quite make a full hem, so I'm just going to make as much as I can on this break. That's why we started with 90, so we can make our second one and go almost all the way through. Now I'm going to have to take this piece and bend it a little bit more by hand in order to get it to sit in here and hem nicely. I found the easiest way to do that without putting too many dimples in it is to face it away from you with your nailing strip, opposite side of you, and using at least 2 hands at a time, start to fold that 90 on the one that you just bent over. That one's eventually going to be all the way folded around on itself. It's called a hem. So I will get as much of this, or as little of this flat as I can, where I will still be able to get it pinched in the brake, an older brake, and it's not going to jump up on me when I start squeezing it. That should be pretty close. Let's go ahead and put it back in the brake, finish the hem. Go ahead and lock it down. This is going to come around like this. It's going to gonna sit right in this groove. I've got these little pieces of grace on here, or little pillows too, to not put dimples in the face when we make this hem. Again, just kind of modifying it for an older braid. So with that in there, everything tucked down nicely. Not sitting down all the way. Good. Good. We'll go ahead and finish the hem. Now if you want, you can back it off just 1/4 of an inch. Mark, go ahead and do that on your end if you would. And that's going to finish off this little tiny bubble you might have in there. And get you really close to a hem from a fancy break. Now we'll take this whole piece, flip it all the way around, put it all the way in, go ahead and unlock it. And lock her down. And this is what's going to actually create our channel and our nailing strip. So again, this is a 3/4 inch break, which means I'm making a 3/4 inch J channel in here. With that locked tight, the edge is going to go ahead and meet these blocks on here, and that's all I'm going to be able to get out of it. So if I wanted more, it's not going to, but it's all I need for this job. Go ahead and unlock it. And the hardest part is over. There's your hem and your J channel with a strip to nail on. And we've only got one last spot to make here, and that's for the return. Now I'm going to mark the return to get a good, accurate measurement. What's been working the best by a long shot is to go ahead and take my square. In this case, I'm going to go 1 inch and 11/16. Or I'm sorry, we're gonna go with the face of the board. So that is going to be 4 11/16 in my case. My board earlier was 4 5/8. I'm going to go just over that. And we'll measure from the hem. Go ahead and make our last bend. Now on this one, I'm going to go a little over 90 because I want it to kind of suction itself onto the window. This little extra bit here will help it to grab and squeeze the J and the inside together. But I'm sure my return is too big, as I wanted it to be, because with each little bend you kind of add a 16th or a 32nd to your overall width of your piece. The easiest way to measure this and make sure you're getting each one correctly is to just start with those 2 measurements and then keep measuring as you go. That's why we added so much in the first place. And now we're going to go with our return. Again, I'm going to go a little bit further than before, which was 1 5/8. I'm going to go 1 11/16 because I can knock it down a little bit more if I need to. And the window I'm working with right now has just a fractionally larger return. Last thing we're going to do is put it back in the brake. Go ahead and squeeze her down. Score. And that is our finished product. This should fit right over top of one of our windows. And we'll go try it right on this one. as you can see, it's gonna need some nipping, but otherwise, it's gonna do exactly what we wanted. Come from right inside here, some bits of aluminum snipping on this way, but ultimately it's gonna cover our window and give us that J channel we need to get our vinyl in. Thanks for watching. I hope this video is a help. Like I said, the other one was a good start, but it definitely wasn't complex enough, and I had to discover a lot of this by trial and error, and now you won't. Thank you.